want to know something so funny, but like not funny haha, but funny like, oh, that's funny. Do you know what I mean? I was feeling really called to create some content today. And so I was looking to AI of some ideas of what I could give my 2 cents on. And one of them was about the bridge between AI and manifestation, which, hi, my name is Alyssa Simpson. I'm a mindset and manifestation coach. And I think that's so funny, haha, not funny, haha, because I am very I have opinions about the state of the world moving into artificial intelligence 101, yet I am using artificial intelligence to be my little virtual assistant. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. Here is the thing. Okay, and we're gonna get into it. So buckle in, baby. Grab a beverage. Let's fucking go. The thing about using AI for any type of like therapy or spiritual connection or learning more about yourself and your own power, it's an algorithm. Number one, it literally puts out what you put in. So if you are putting in things about you, it's going to just mirror it back to you in a prettier, nicer, different language. Okay. And yes, AI is all knowing. It is super smart, and we are reaching a point now in our time that it is outsmarting humans. But nothing is smarter than your own intuition. And that is something that we have got to fucking remember and hold on to. And what makes me very cautious of it all, and what not that I want to send out a warning, but I want to send out a reminder that no amount of anything technological can replace the human spirit. And there's a hot conversation about what is human consciousness? Like, what separates us from animals? Like, what separates us from really anything? And it's the fact that we are a part of God. We are a part of universe. We are a part of the divine. We are a part of source. Like, we are literally a fragment of it. And there's this really cool image, and I'm not gonna be able to find it because I don't have time for that. But it's like, okay, here's Earth, right? And underneath, this is the universe. And then these little fingers are all of us. And it's like, here we are, wonder how we can be connected to the universe, but we are the universe. Again, there's a beautiful image of it online. You could probably ask AI to make it for you, but you get the idea. Because we are a extension of God, of the divine, of the universe, whatever resonates with you. And nothing that can be created by man, let's not forget that AI was created by humans, or let's get fucking weird, maybe it was given to us by other living, breathing things, like reverse engineer type of shit. We can talk about that. But we're not going to today. There is nothing more powerful than you and your intuition. And the powers that be, if you will, they fucking know that. And there are case studied documents about how to disconnect people from their intuition and what type of power that gives the power at be when you disconnect people from their own goddamn intuition and self and divine source. I am also someone who, I actually had this thought today. I was driving my back roads, as I like to do. If you don't know, a cold brew and some back road drives for just 30 minutes. I live out in the country, so there's tons of back roads to drive. That is the most authentically connected to God and source that I ever feel, is when I'm literally in that position, because it's just you and the open road. It's just you and the open road, right? You have nothing else to do but to just open yourself up to receiving downloads and intuitive pings and all those beautiful things. But anyways, I literally was thinking about this today, driving my back roads. How disconnected I am from religion specifically. And I didn't used to always be disconnected from religion. You know, like I grew up somewhat in the church. Like I was very involved in church in my youth. Fun fact, I actually lost my virginity the day after I got baptized. So, you know, super devout to my religion and all of its teachings and rules. But when I really became disconnected from religion as a whole was after my mom committed suicide, because the conversation that was happening around her committing suicide was that, oh my God, she's in hell. She's in hell. That's one of the rules. You can't commit suicide. And that doesn't make any, doesn't make any fucking sense. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Doesn't make any sense to me, right? Like if it does to you, go off, do your thing, love that you have something like that in your life. But it does not make any sense to me, because my belief is that I don't believe in heaven or hell. Like I think that we are all light and we come to earth to show others different parts. You know, like the human experience is such a unique experience, and it is one of the most desired experiences that our souls have, which is why we continue to come back, because it truly is such a great fucking time here, and we learn so much and we evolve so much and understand so much while also forgetting so much. So yes, there is, I do believe in good versus evil. Like I do know that evil does exist. But I just don't believe that your soul gets damned to a place that's suffering for the rest of your eternal life. Like that doesn't resonate with me. And if we're gonna, let's get real quick. If we're gonna put suicide on the same level as like some of the other really like dark, disgusting shit that exists, what the fuck? Like to me, it's just not comparable. Like, and also someone committing suicide, like that does, like, yes, it affects the people that love them and care about them, but it's more about their own thing, like their own journey on earth, their own path that they lived on earth and how they died. Like, why is suicide any different than someone who's a drug addict and they choose to do drugs, get involved in drugs, alcohol, they choose to drink and drive, like, you know, all these other ways that people could die. Why the fuck is suicide the one that damned you to hell? So that whole conversation that was happening after my mom committed suicide, I was really like, you know what? Anything that claims to be this loving and beautiful and amazing, but also would feel this way about people who choose to commit suicide, that I don't rock with that. And also, I don't think that there is one single religion that is better than others. And I think the whole like arguing of whose God is better than another God is fucking weird too. I like, again, we are all extensions of God, source, the universe, energy, all those things. That's not the point of this conversation, but that was really important to throw in there because we are all a piece of the divine and a piece of God and the universe and source. This is why I talked about religion, because I use God, source, energy, all like interchangeable, because I believe that they're all the same thing. But I do know that some people listening to this might not like the word universe, or they might be offended by source or whatever. So just use whatever word is applicable to you and yours. But this message does need to be heard. It needs to be heard. Okay, I know how to speak. Maybe if I would have written up a fucking script from AI, we wouldn't be misspeaking. Anyways, so AI is all knowing to an extent, right? It has all the information that's ever been put on a fucking computer, right? Right? Okay, here we're getting somewhere now. Because AI is everything that has ever been logged into the ethers of the internet world, you cannot imitate intuition, because you cannot imitate God and source. You can't imitate that. It can't be done. Therefore, humans will always be top tier, right? Because we created the thing, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that we can't use it as a tool. And what I really want to kind of caution people against is using AI as a tool to better yourself, because it's going to feed you the shit that you put in it, okay? If you ask it to tell you the honest truth about yourself, it's gonna put it in a really nice, beautiful, fluffy bow, present it to yourself, and you're just gonna think that all is well, even though you have a gut feeling that says different. You're like, but AI said no. What did your gut tell you? But here's the thing, when we get so disconnected from our gut and our intuition, we don't even hear it. We don't even feel it. We don't even realize that it's there, okay? And our intuition is our straight up bridge to God, that when you blur it, when you muddy it, when you disconnect yourself from it, you're disconnecting yourself further and further and further. Now, there are some really extreme people that are saying that AI is like the evil dark force energy, whatever. I don't necessarily want to go that far. I mean, I don't think that it's not possible, because I think anything is possible, and I don't have a fucking crystal ball. But I refuse to live in the camp of horrible things always happening, you know, because you create your reality and you are what your circumstances are. And my circumstances are abundant and beautiful, and all things are meant for me, not to me. That's the camp that I live in. That's the camp that I request and would suggest you also live in. But if you don't, go off. I do have a very healthy tinfoil hat, so I am aware of the negative possibilities. I am aware of like all the conversations that are happening around AI, but that's not here nor there. What is here and there is getting back to your intuition. Because here's the thing too, if you had a therapist or a coach or a mentor or a friend even who always fluffed you up or was on your side, or who never told you how it is or told you about how you are playing a role in your own misfortune, that's not a good fucking friend, therapist, coach, mentor, whatever. But that's what AI will do to you if you treat it as your own personal coach, mentor, and therapist. It's going to tell you how great you are, how amazing you are, because why? It needs you back in it to keep fueling it more shit so we can keep getting smarter, right? That's like the whole point. And if you are telling it all these things, it's never going to tell you what you actually need to hear. And just in the past, like, I'm even gonna say 10 years, the whole like mental health space, it's in my opinion making people less responsible for their own role that they play in their misfortune. We have people that are telling you that it's not your fault that X, Y, and Z happens. And sure, maybe the shitty circumstance isn't your fault, but you did play a part in that shitty circumstance, whether you want to hear it or not. Of course, we don't want to inflict pain on ourselves, but there probably is something underlying that keeps you comfortable with the pain because you don't believe that you deserve any better. That's just a very basic ass idea. And I know there are a few people in my life who have gone to therapy, done the work, gotten out, found a different therapist because whatever reason, right? Like it was out of their network, or their therapist, I don't know, one of them, she moved, and so they didn't want to do like the virtual thing. They wanted an in-person therapist. And having a different perspective, both of these instances I'm talking about was beneficial because they got to hear someone else's point of view with their expertise on it, right? I also am very much so like, I don't need to hold adults' hands in my coaching world to tell them about how they're playing a role in their own misfortune, because that's kind of the whole point of being here on earth, is to grow and evolve and become better. And we don't have, I mean, let's say maybe we have 100 years to hang out here and do our thing and play on earth. I don't want to waste a fucking day of it not contributing to my own happiness and abundance and wild success, right? And that means being able to look at yourself from a neutral standpoint and go, okay, what have I contributed to this? What have I done or not done? Or who was I being or not being that allowed this kind of not so great circumstance to exist in my world, right? And what I really find is even more, you know, we're on the topic of AI and how I truly think that we're going to see a really weird wave of people thinking that they kind of have all the answers to life's biggest questions because they put the question in a chat box and it gave them an answer in 2.5 fucking seconds. But the real answers that you find are through lived wisdom. It's through actually getting out of your house and getting off of your phone and your screen and off the apps and asking AI and just living life, right? But what we're doing is we're creating so much anxiousness around just simply fucking existing. And that is going to be more of the downfall than relying on AI will. the rise of social media in 2008, it was meant to just be this like way for all of us to kind of keep in touch. It's supposed to bring us closer together, but it has driven us further apart because social media wouldn't be successful if we were all there just hanging out, chilling, having a good time, right? Like it exists for a lot of different reasons, and it's very easy to get sucked into it whenever you feel like you don't even have your own intuition to guide you, because you're looking for all this outside validation. You're looking for all of these answers to questions that you actually have inside of you. You just refuse to turn on the fucking radio frequency to yourself and listen. It's even more about that. It's about fine-tuning that radio frequency and getting so crystal clear. And I have always been someone who has a really strong connection with my intuition, but looking back just in my past 10 years, it has gotten so much stronger than it once was, because I'm dedicated to always having that connection with myself and that connection with divine energy, because I didn't come here to live under this like weird shadowy veil of letting other fucking people tell me how to be, act, do, and live my life here, right? I came here to explore, to have fun, to play, to learn, to grow, to do all those things. And you simply cannot do that if you are doing it through the eyes of someone else. And sure, I'm a coach and I'm a mentor, but you will never catch me telling people what they need to be doing in order to live life. And I would never tell someone how they, like, I'm not even I totally could give you my exact fucking steps from where I was to where I'm at, and like tune back in 5 years and see where I'm at in 5 years, and I'll give you those steps too, but they're not going to work for you because we have different lived experience, we have different lived wisdom, we have different opportunities, and we came here for different reasons, right? Like, how many people are on earth? Like 8 billion trillion, I don't know the fucking number, but whatever the number is, there's no two people alike on earth, even identical twins. Like they didn't even come here to live the same life's purpose as someone else. Like we're all here for such different reasons, but in the same breath, we're all here for the same reasons, okay? This is where the beauty of like showing your authenticity really truly matters, because what you can deliver to your little pod of people, or the big pod of people, whatever it is you're here to do and to experience, you can't do that if you're trying to be something you're not, if you're trying to live a different way, if you're trying to imitate what others have done, if you're even trying to copy and paste what others have done, okay? All of the most beautiful things in the world that we've ever gotten to see, experience, they came from someone's mind first that decided to bring it to fruition. Think about every piece of art you've seen, every, music you've listened to, every video, movie, television, whatever the fuck, whatever you've ever consumed, everything started in the mind first. Okay, so that alone is proof that whatever it is you're thinking to bring to fruition, you absolutely can. Maybe you could use a little bit of help from artificial intelligence. Maybe it just needs to come straight from you and the divine, but stop second guessing what the fuck your intuition is trying to scream out loud to you. It's there for a reason. And when you are so connected back to yourself, you don't have to sit there and guess and all these things, just like I told you all how I was on television, and I've never been on television. I had never had any reference point of anyone that I've known be on television. And I had the intuitive download, and that's ultimately what started my snowball effect of it. And I never once for a second thought, why did I think that? That's so weird. Let me go ask a fucking robot why I had this intuitive download to do this and if I should do it or not. No, I listened, I followed through, and that is why it happened so relatively quick. And I say relative because time is relative. Quick is relative, good and bad is relative, but it happened for me in the timeline that it did because I wasn't second guessing. I never tried to outthink what was happening. I just literally listened and followed through. And if you look at all the people in the world who have ever done anything fucking amazing, it's never well, someone told me I should do this, so I did. It was, I always had this feeling, I always knew, I always felt it. That's intuition talking. Listen to it. It cannot come from fucking AI. It cannot come from your neighbor. we don't even talk to our neighbors anymore. Let's be so for real. Do you even know what a neighbor is? It's the person that lives next to you. Go say fucking hi. Make human connection. We are so much more, no one knows more than you do about you. No one knows more about me than I know about me. Okay? It's really beneficial to learn about yourself, and I think it's a really beautiful thing that us in the human form really want to learn as much as we can about ourselves, but you cannot do it if you are consulting in something that was man-made, okay? Sure, it might sound so smart, it might be so much, you know, better with words than you are, but it can't do what you do. It can't be who you be, you know what I mean? It can't manifest for you. So people might be using AI to ask what journal prompts they should journal on. It might be asking AI, you know, what's a good EFT tapping script to do. You might be asking AI to build a guided meditation script for you to record yourself doing whatever. Cool, great, awesome. But the second you ask AI, like, is this meant for me or not? You've gone off the fucking deep end. Don't go off the deep end. There are sharks, okay? Don't do it. But for real, like, all of this to say, like, the goal for life is to be more connected with you, is to be more connected with yourself, is to understand you better, right? Go sit in fucking silence for an hour. I know that sounds like your own personal hell, but if it sounds like your own personal hell, you should probably go fucking do it. Because a lot can happen when it's just you by yourself. And if you're like me, a back road drive will do the trick. Sometimes it's in silence, sometimes it's not. Sometimes I have my child in tow with me and he's just chilling in the back too, also receiving downloads. But whatever you gotta do to spend that time with yourself, it's important. It's important. And this is also coming from someone who uses artificial intelligence. I'm gonna put this video into one to transcribe this video so I can create fucking a little blurb of what this video is. But I'm also feeding AI me and my personality and my voice and my own authentic self, which is only going to make it smarter and overrule us one day. Oh my god, you gotta have a good sense of humor if you're gonna be here in my space, okay? Because that's part of the agreement between you and I. But the message here is to truly and honestly, like, make this year about connecting back with yourself. Make this year about, I don't know, creating stronger boundaries around you and the outside world, you know? You are the biggest and greatest and most important project you're ever going to have in this life. Treat it that way, please. For the love of all things holy, like, treat it that way, okay? Great things are coming for you. Great things are on the horizon. But the thing that's going to make it even so much more beautiful and so much more exciting is when you connect back to yourself. Dial in that frequency, learn how to listen to your intuition. And I'm telling you right now, your intuition is never going to be frantic, loud, and scary. It's always going to be that calm, steady, smooth, cool, calm, and collected hand. And that kind of message is when you're going to know it's your intuition and not your anxiety. Because I know that they can get a little confusing when you're first starting out. If you want to learn more, you can hop inside of my membership where I have so many trainings about connecting back with your intuition. And I will see you next time.